Hi Sunshines, and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a fun video. I'm actually collabing with Michelle over at Mascara to Midnight, and we're going to talk about our top 10 favorite TV shows. We actually did this same exact video almost a year ago last summer, and we were talking about collabing again, and Michelle's like, let's just do the same video. We both loved it, and we loved the comments because you guys gave us other great shows to binge watch. So I thought it's getting to be fall and winter when you want to be cozy and curl up on the couch and maybe binge watch some things, so I need a new list. So definitely comment below what you are liking. If you are coming over from Michelle's channel, welcome. I am so incredibly happy to have you. Comment below where you're from so I can welcome you personally in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up. Okay, and also, you're gonna love Michelle. If you haven't been over to Michelle's channel, she's amazing. She's quirky in a good way, totally funny. She has a large family. She homeschools. They just moved from Texas to Louisiana, so they're sort of in flux right now, getting their lives sort of put back together. But I really think you're gonna like her. So definitely go subscribe to her channel and tell her that Georgia Sunshine sent you. We actually looked at each other's top 10 lists, and we had 3 of the same shows on there. So we went back and forth like, do we switch them up or do we not? And we decided no, let's keep them the same because it says a lot about those shows. I actually have a few more than 10, but I'm gonna be quick with my list, okay? So here we go. These are not in order. The first show I'm going to talk about is Poldark. If you've not heard about the show, it is amazing. It is set, I think it's in Ireland, but I could be wrong about that. It is beautiful. The landscaping, first of all, is just something to be in awe of. It's just shot so well. But the first episode, I'm not giving too much away because you learn this in the first episode. This guy's gone off to war, this young guy, and he got in a little bit of trouble in the war. He left his girl who he loves. His dad and his uncle own a mine, but his dad ends up dying and his portion of the mine sort of peters out. And then when he comes home from war, his girlfriend has married his cousin. That's the setup, and it's beautiful. The costumes are beautiful. The storyline is amazing. Poldark, is the actor that plays him, is just beautiful. He's pretty to look at too. So I think you'll really like that. And the new season is starting up this fall, so you have time to go binge watch the other maybe 3 or 4 seasons. I don't remember. They're pretty short seasons if I remember correctly, like maybe 8 episodes each. I think you can watch them on Amazon, so go check that one out. The next one is The Ranch. Now this one is on Netflix, and I will say it has language in it, so if you're bothered by language, this may not be the one for you. I tend to like, I don't love language, but it tends not to bother me as much as violence does. So this one is really cute. It's got Ashton Kutcher and just so many great actors and actresses, but it's just about this family that runs a ranch. The husband and wife don't get along. They still love each other, but they can't sort of live together. So she lives in a trailer and bought a bar and runs a bar, but she's there pretty often. And this one son was a huge football star, so he had gone away to sort of chase his career and then came back. The ranch is on hard times. So it's got a lot of humor to it, but a lot of just human, I don't know, a storyline that I really like. So that one is really great. Oh, I love this one, you guys. I have watched this 2 complete seasons all the way through, and I'm ready to actually watch it again, and that is Gilmore Girls. If you have not seen this show, you are doing yourself an injustice. It's just great. I love the mother-daughter interaction. I love the quirky townspeople. I want to go live there and go to Luke Steiner and have like his waffles. And I just think it's a good, easy show. My daughter and I actually binge watched it last summer, and then we watched the year that they did just recently, and I'm hoping that they'll bring another season of that back because it was really, really great. But honestly, I think I'm going to binge watch it for the 3rd time. Although a lot of the shows I've seen in reruns, I've probably seen 8 or 10 times. It never gets old. I just love it. The banter is so quick and witty and funny. The next one is, I did not realize this until just a minute ago, that the same people that did Gilmore Girls actually did this next show, and it is the Marvelous Mrs Maisel. It's on Amazon, and it is such an interesting show. So this 50s housewife is going about her business. She lives next door to her parents, and she's married and finds out her husband's having an affair, and he leaves, and she's kind of left with her 2 children not knowing what to do. And she discovers that she has this talent to make people laugh, and so she tries to become a comedian, and it's all about her parents. Her dad is Tony Shalhoub, who played Monk, who plays a totally different role in this show, but I really like it. And it's about her trying to be a comedian and her relationship with her parents and how she's dealing with her husband and all of that. So it's really good, and it is coming back for season 2 in the fall, but you can watch that one on Amazon. The next one is The Crown. Have you guys started watching The Crown? Oh, I love it, and I'm so ready for season 3. My only regret is that they're going to change up the actor and actresses because they're going to make them older. So they're going to go with an older cast, which I like and don't like because I've fallen in love with those characters. But it really tells the history of Queen Elizabeth and Philip, her husband. He's not really a king, Prince Philip, I guess, and kind of their storyline and their personal life. It's so interesting, and it's just endeared me more to sort of the English. I don't know. I just really like that show, and I just find it interesting to see sort of some of the behind the scenes of the monarchy. Do you know what I mean? So that one's great. The next one is The Goldbergs. The Goldbergs and American Housewife are both, I believe, on ABC. They're both 30-minute sitcoms, and they are so stinking funny. The Goldbergs is just about a family of 5 with a mom they call her the Smother, or she calls herself the Smother. I feel like I relate to her a lot. She's just like this helicopter mom that loves her family, and she loves to cook and be in everybody's business. And I just think it's the funniest show. But also American Housewife is about this woman, and they live in a very high-end area in Connecticut. He's a professor and she's a housewife. She's overweight in a land of like skinny, blonde, perfect moms that do everything right, and she doesn't care what she does. She doesn't care what she looks like. She just wants to be a good mom and teach her kids right from wrong. And the kids bring friends over that are rich that have no idea like what it's like to live like a normal life, and she just tells them. And the one-liners in this show are so funny. The husband relationship in this, the husband and wife sort of relationship, are hysterical. It's 30 minutes. I usually tape it during the week, and then I run through the commercials. You can watch it in like 20 minutes. So it's just an easy one to do. But there's lots of episodes of that to go back and watch if you're looking for something to binge watch. The next one is Younger. Ooh, y'all, do you watch Younger? So it's about this woman, and she used to be in publishing years and years ago, and then she left and had her baby and got married. And then just before her daughter graduated from high school, she and her husband got a divorce, and she had to figure out how to pay for her daughter's college. Her husband sort of flaked out, or her ex did. And so she couldn't get a job because she hadn't had a job in 18 years. She couldn't get one to save her life in order to pay for her daughter to go to school. And so she's beautiful and she looks young. So she paints herself as this like 25-year-old, and she dresses kind of funky. She definitely passes for the age and gets a great job, but ends up moving through the ranks very, very quickly in the publishing world. And yeah, it's all about her backstory and her dating, and none of her coworkers can know. And her boss is beautiful, y'all. If you watch it, you'll know what I mean when I say Charles. I just watch it for Charles. He's just, oh, my husband's not in the house, so I can say that. But anyway, it's a really, really easy, great show. It's a little bit edgy. But I really, really like it. It's got the millennial sort of age in it, and then the older age, which I really like the dichotomy of that. So it's really cute. The next one, this is something my daughter and I are binge watching. We've been binge watching it all summer, and I think we're on finally season 7, and that is Parks and Rec. This show is so cute. It's got Amy Poehler and just an amazing, amazing staff. It's got Chris. Now I can't think of his name. He plays in the, oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name, but that really cute guy that plays in Guardian of the Galaxy, Chris. I can't remember. I'm trying to say Hemsworth, but that's not it. Anyway, it is a great cast, a great show. It's run for 7 seasons, and if you want to binge watch something that's going to take you quite a while to get through, that one is a good one. And the seasons are super, super long, but you just fall in love with all the characters and all their quirkiness and all their silliness, and it's just a really good, feel-good, easy show. It's perfect one to watch with your teen if you have a teen. The next one is brand new. This one is called Castaways, and I believe it's on ABC. I think it's on the 5th episode. So it's sort of like a Survivor without the games. They basically take 12 people. They had to pack a suitcase and write a journal about their lives, and they take 12 people and drop them in the middle of the South Pacific where there's a chain of islands, and they all sort of end up on different islands. I think that was the point, but the islands are pretty close together, within like a mile or so of each other, but there's like strong currents in between them. They've seen sharks, whatever. So they end up on the island, and most of them have found suitcases but not their own, and they're reading these people's journey and hearing about their backstory. Like one guy rescues girls from human trafficking. He has such an amazing backstory. One is a biracial couple that got married in secret and haven't told her parents yet. The backstories are super, super interesting, but it's talking about, really, do people need the human connection and how they get to other islands to find each other. And some of them want to be alone. They want to work through their issues and be alone and figure it out. And some people want to be together, and some have found like a couple, not like a couple like dating, but they found like two guys or a guy and a girl, and they're like working together really well and fishing and doing their thing, and then a third person will find them on the island, and then it's a whole nother dynamic because they're having to share their rations. And it's just an interesting show. It's sort of documentary style. I really, really like it, and you could definitely catch up. I watched the first 3 episodes back to back, and then I've watched 4 and 5 when they've come out, but it's really, really good. Another one I love is The 100. Now, I've said that I don't like violence, and I stand by that. So this show is a little bit violent, but it's so interesting to me. The world was basically toxic from like a nuclear war, and so everybody went into space. All the countries went into space, and slowly but surely the space stations all started to die, and there was one space station left, and they only had about a year's worth of like oxygen and supplies left. So this is crazy, but they took all the people that were 18 to 14 that were considered criminals, and they sent them down without telling them to the earth to see if they could survive. Basically, everybody had a death warrant because they could only survive in space for a year. So they sent these kids down to try and see if they could survive, and they did. But what they didn't realize was there was other people on Earth that had survived all this time that were sort of more savage. And so it's about these kids sort of figuring out how to live, and then the people on the ark, that's what they called the space station, coming down, and sort of the adults sort of take over from what the kids have started, which causes a rift, and them all trying to figure out how to live again through this world. I love it because it's got a little bit of science fiction in it. It's got, I don't know, it's just interesting, but it is violent. So the people on the earth that have lived there, they sort of have tribes, and the way that they solve things is through fighting. So there's like, and they don't have guns, so it's like spears and things. So if you can handle that, sometimes I fast forward through some of it, but I really like the show, and it just came out on Netflix the next season. I think it probably will be the last one. All right, the 3 that Michelle and I all liked were Jane the Virgin. I am on the last season of that one, and I am in love with Jane and everything to do with her. There's such an interesting dynamic between the women. It's Jane, her mother, and her grandmother that all live together. And basically, her grandmother told her when she was little that she had to stay a virgin and protect herself, and so she agreed to do that. And it's sort of her getting through life. But the first episode, she was artificially inseminated on accident. She was supposed to be going in for a pap smear, so she's a pregnant virgin, and all the story that goes with it. It's a little bit soapy. Her dad is a huge telenovela star, so you have a little bit of that telenovela feel through it. It's just feel good and fun and funny and sweet, and I really am enjoying that one. Another one that Michelle and I both decided that we really, really liked was Big Brother. We love Big Brother. I have to say, I hadn't watched Big Brother for 3 seasons, and this one I'm not loving as much as I have the last ones. It's starting to get good now, but I have to say I'm not really feeling endearing toward many of the characters, so this has probably been my least favorite season, but you gotta watch it because you're in the middle of it. You know, you gotta keep up with it. So I'm enjoying Big Brother. I'm a Big Brother fan. And then last but not least, y'all, The Handmaid's Tale. I watched the whole first season. I've watched the first 4 episodes of the 2nd season, but now we're at a place where I had to take a break from it for a minute because it's getting intense. And I can see this happening in real life, this storyline. It is far-fetched, but basically the earth is sort of become so toxic. If I'm telling the backstory wrong, I apologize, but it's basically become so toxic that women are not having babies anymore. There are very few women that can have babies, so they sort of did this. They overthrew the government, these men, and formed this new law. Any woman that has had a baby has become a handmaid, so they dress them up in these outfits and they send them into the home to try and get pregnant by the men, and then they take their babies. I know that sounds, it's really weird. I could like, you can see, if you've ever watched a show, could you see it happening? Like, I totally could. Anyway, and the handmaids are sort of run or kept up by this one head mistress, and she is evil. There's parts of her that you think, okay, she's really nice, and then the next scene you just know that she's not. She's just trying to keep it all together herself, but the world is just at odds, and it's America, it's not other countries, and everybody's sort of trying to escape to Canada. So this one family, it kind of follows her through her journey. Her husband, she thinks, gets killed. They try to escape, and she thinks her husband gets killed, but he actually makes it across the border eventually to Canada. They have a little daughter. Her daughter's taken and given to another family, and then she's put in a family to try and have a baby. It's a crazy, twisty, creepy show, but I can't stop watching it. But I had to take a break, I'm telling you, because it is all that. All right, and then there's 2 shows that I'm really excited that are coming back. The first one is, well, I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm going to give the new Magnum PI a try. I mean, Tom Selleck, you know, is he the only Magnum to you? Totally to me. And then Below Deck is my favorite show with Captain Lee, and I'm so excited that one's coming back. So those are all my favorite shows. I would love for you to comment below your favorites. I'm dying to hear them. I will see you again. If you can remember the name, because I'm still going crazy that I can't remember the actor's name, Chris, that's in Guardians of the Galaxy, that's also in Parks and Rec. It's driving me crazy. I know I'm going to get 100 names down below, but just let me know. I'll see you later. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.